takes off his helmet, sword returns to sheath. He takes a step through the door of the king of his defeat. But the king, he wears no crown, no throne or jewels around. Come now, is there any treasure here that is left for me? You can't drink my...
Good evening, Fredonia. You're listening to the Local Lowdown on WCVF 88.9 The Voice and WDVL 89.5 The Inferno. I'm your co-host and promotions lead, Aaron.
Hello, I am your other co-host, Jordan. I'm also the A&R lead and the executive producer.
My name is Sebastian Spizak, and I am your technical director of the Local Lowdown.
Tonight's show is brought to you by Fredonia Radio Systems, in a group effort to promote and showcase the local music scene here in Fredonia, but also West New York at large. Welcome to the Local Lowdown.
On this episode, we have our guest, Relentless Moisture. So we like to just start off every episode by letting the guests introduce themselves and the role that they play in the band.
I'm Andrew. I play drums for Relentless Moisture.
I'm Gordon. I play guitar and vocals.
My name's Joe, and I also play guitar and sing also.
I'm Jack, and I play the bass.
How did you guys meet and end up playing music together?
Basically, Joe and I met on the Facebook group for new freshmen.
When that performing arts Snapchat group chat.
Yeah.
And then we ended up in a separate group chat because we were the less normal people in the group chat. And then we started doing music from there.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of us, I guess,
SRT probably.
Yeah,
sound
Same
recording.
major, yeah.
Yeah, they asked me to do it last year, but I already knew them from SRT, like every single one of us is in the same class.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How long were you guys, formulating and starting to create Relentless Moisture before you started playing gigs and such?
Pretty much all of freshman year, we kind of were just writing stuff.
And most
Gotcha.
of sophomore year.
Yeah.
So things have been in the works for pretty much as long as we've been in college. So
Yeah, and some of those songs are still the ones that you guys are playing today.
Yep.
yep.
That's
Did
awesome.
you start off just writing songs? Did you go into it being we're going to write songs together, or were you kind of just messing around, I guess, for lack of a better term?
That's a good question.
I don't know. I think we just both are sort of creative, fundamentally. So when our personalities meet, we tend to bounce a lot of ideas off each other, and we sort of have that same aspect of exploration. I guess I don't know when it became an official thing, but I knew when I got on campus that I wanted to write music with people.
For sure.
So we were we're gonna do it, regardless,
Definitely. Well, we're in kind of a unique situation. Usually for interviews, it's I don't know how to say it, but a lot of times when we've done an interview with a band, it'll be promoting something that's upcoming, but this time it's the thing's already happened.
Right.
So what I'd like to talk about right away is that you guys just played the Local Lowdown concert. And that was on September 9th at Main Street Studios alongside Del Paxton, The Weather Might Say Otherwise. What was your experience like at that?
It was very, I guess, fortunate, just because, we knew Tanner from Twimso.
Yes.
Because he was also SRT.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember he was kind of our leader at the beginning.
Yeah.
So, and it was very cool to have all of them come back.
Yeah.
And especially Del Paxton too.
Yeah.
Just all Fredonia bands. Very, very. A very strong community was felt at that show, I feel like.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Especially through you guys too.
Yeah. Definitely. We were so happy to have you guys.
Yeah.
It was a cool lineup for sure.
Yeah, it was a stacked bill.
Yeah,
If you guys didn't come out, you definitely missed out.
Yeah, it was like I just felt like such a sense of like, like the community, but also that like, I don't know if that show was like historical, but I'd say it's like there's you got basically 3 different generations of Fredonia bands all
Right.
playing under the same roof. I felt
Right.
like that the heritage, the legacy was like sort of intact, and it was on full display that night, which was really awesome.
Definitely. Yeah, and there's one particular song, 13 Creatures. Usually I felt in the past you guys closed with it, but for that night you opened with it.
Yep.
Was there a specific reason for doing that night?
I feel like we just thought to like switch it up,
Yeah,
Yeah.
something
do
different.
something different that we don't usually do.
Yeah, we like to keep it, at least switch up the order if we're doing the same
Yeah.
kind of set.
Yeah, I remember you guys played Trapped Inside a Prism first at Creek House,
Yep.
too. So, really just switching it up.
Yeah.
I think there's been like 1 or 2 shows where we've kept it the same.
Okay.
Like we have like, if we had a show a month ago, we're probably gonna play something similar to that.
Yep.
But like, I feel like location-wise, if we go all over New York, like that will definitely change. Yeah, each place. I remember like during practice, we were just like, what if 13 had this like big
Like,
intro. Football stadium,
Yeah.
cheerleaders.
And did it end up being that
No.
way?
Not
But
really. But
it had that
it
essence.
it did kind of, it really brought it, I think.
Yeah. What? Oh, sorry. I just have one more question about that song. I love that song. You guys are also performing it tonight, but what is the sentiment behind it, and I guess just how did it come together?
That's a Joe and Gordon
I
question.
think it's one of those songs that like where there's an initial idea and you just sort of have it floating around, and over time or eventually at some point you'll have some point where it starts to snowball into something bigger, like a fully formed idea. Like sometimes I'll have songs and I'll just instantly know what needs to happen, but I don't even remember who came up with like the original idea.
Yeah.
It was probably just a jam or something, but then we sort of sat on that for a couple weeks, and then we were like, let's develop this, let's take it somewhere. And then for the lyrical aspect, that's kind of like I see it as sort of like a culmination of like the vibe of living at the townhouse that we were in senior or not senior, sophomore year. Yeah,
Bruh.
we were
That was really good.
Thank you.
we were living in a townhouse. It's a lot of memories in that tiny little building. But,
So we're 106.
yep.
Would you
Sorry to
say?
dox.
Oh, fun fact also, I think all of us are from Grissom.
Yeah.
First semester
yeah.
Grissom.
First
Semester
semester
Grissom.
Wow, and you could have met then, but you didn't yet.
Yeah.
Something in the water in Grissom Hall.
Right.
It's
The
fungus.
moisture.
Yeah, fungus.
Something in the
Weird stuff.
moisture.
Yeah.
Fungus,
Harmful
lead.
Bad things.
Dirt, mud.
Would you
Microchips.
say that there's like something that normally comes first in terms of like the music or the lyrics?
I'm personally an instrumental first guy, like almost always.
Yeah.
Almost any time that I write anything, I usually write basically the entire instrumental before I even have a clue what I'm going to sing.
That's the same for me, except for one that I can think of that was the opposite, was Trapped Inside a Prism. I think we were coming home from the creek one time, and we just started singing, I'm trapped inside a prism, and I don't know
You know,
why.
sometimes we just start saying stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just say stuff, and it becomes a song.
Is that one of the more like instant songs in that way
a
that you
little
were talking
bit,
about
yeah.
before?
Yeah.
It just kind of came.
But also, I forgot that we even had that moment until I heard the full demo that Gordon recorded. We had that moment, then we forgot about it, and then Gordon
I
sent me the
didn't
demo.
forget.
Yeah, you didn't forget. I did, and then I hear that, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. And I'm like, oh wait a minute. Yeah.
That was actually my next question was what was the process of putting together Trapped Inside a Prism, which was your first official streaming release?
Yes.
Yeah, it was pretty much from that idea. We went away for summer, and then I was just kind of alone in my mom's house. So I was like, I'm gonna write some songs, and I'm gonna put them down.
Yeah.
And that's basically how most of our stuff comes out, is like one of us is behind a computer, just playing it out,
Big computer
put some drums
songwriters.
to it, you know?
Yeah, like a lot. When I joined, like, I think we already talked about this, but like, how did like all this form? But like, when I joined, like, they already had like a long EP worth of songs, like, not fully formed, but like the gist,
Yeah.
like 6 or 7 songs. And as we've played them, I mean, I think Jack and I have put our own stuff.
Yeah, the songs were
To
pretty
him.
much done, like once we both kind of joined. I joined a little bit before you, but I think you guys had like all the ideas pretty much at that time and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely makes sense because I feel like for some bands it like takes some time to get their footing and stuff. But
Yeah.
the first time I saw you guys perform at Main Street, like the first ever Main Street show
It was-
within recent times.
Just because they were ready. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe and Gordon.
And I
were
mean, that
just
was
ready
intentional
for it.
because we spent enough time being in awkward high school bands to like to come out on stage and be like, "Hey guys, we're Relentless Moisture," and then we're like not even together. We're playing some song that sounds like 4 different bands.
Yeah.
We want to write music that sounds like 4 different bands at the same time, but on purpose.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I guess just tracking all the way back to that first ever show, what was it like to just have like such a positive reaction from the Fredonia community when you had been writing those songs for a couple of years and then you got to experience it live like that?
Well, up until that point, I had never had more than 5 people that I didn't know personally paying attention to my music at the same time. So just to have like 100 people, most of which that I didn't know who they were,
Yeah.
to have them react so enthusiastically to the music that we were working on was just like, okay. That was the only goal that I had up until that point. And then
Yeah.
after that, I was like, okay, we can do whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I think Jack and I talked about this, like, that was our first ever show. Like,
Yeah, no,
ever.
Really?
Like, ever.
My band
Yeah.
in high school never went anywhere because we didn't have like a full band, so we just jammed in my basement and stuff. I never really got to be performing. I played in groups like for school and stuff like that, but never in like a rock band
Yeah.
scenario up until that point. And I think we only rehearsed for a week.
We
'Cause
were
we got to
rehearsed-
school and it was
Yeah.
like the
Every
first week of
day.
the semester.
Every
yeah.
single day before that show, we were practicing, like, in talking about, like, that experience point. Like, I don't think I realized, like, because, like, I had never played a show before. I mean, like, I performed, like, I did, like, marching band and like that, so.
It's okay. It'll be a bleep.
It's okay. It's okay. Keep going.
I did
We're going to
Marching
lose our
band.
Burt's Bees sponsorship.
and stuff like that. So, like, performing wasn't all that, like, foreign to me, but, like, people, like, cheering and, like, moshing.
It was pretty crowded. I feel like all the
What?
Main Street shows are pretty cool. Like, there's always a
Yeah.
good
When we
vibe
play
at
Main Street, yeah, people get lit.
or even just like
Too
every
lit.
show, yeah.
Too lit.
People sometimes do get too lit
Yeah,
at our
there's some
shows.
people getting at the last one. There's some people getting like pushed over.
Amputations.
Yeah, there was some crowd surfing too. Somebody came dressed as a magician,
magician.
not a musician, but rather a
The
magician.
wizard was fire. Yeah.
We prepared by taping Sebastian's mattress around that pole.
We saw.
I'm not sure if
Yeah.
that actually helped, but
I think it was a
Oh,
good
I'm sure.
start.
Hopefully.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I like how the crowd surfing, it didn't extend to surfing. It was just crowd holding.
yes.
Crowd
Just kinda
holding.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never really. Yeah, that's probably getting cut out.
Sorry.
I've never really seen that at Main Street. Maybe like once before. I don't know.
It might
It's
be a
been
new
happening
thing.
a lot this
Yeah.
year. It's kind of crazy.
A lot of people like lifting people up and
Yeah.
putting them back down this year, I
Yeah.
guess. Big year for that. It's the astrological alignment
Yeah,
of the planet.
it's the year of the pickup.
yeah.
Okay.
Something in the water.
Trying to get lifted after this.
Let's lift.
Lift it up. Let's lift
off.
each other up.
Forklift uncertified we are.
I don't have my certification.
Was that Yoder?
It was kind of Yoda. You got your clauses mixed up there.
Well, I think there's something we gotta address. You guys came in some funky outfits today. What
do you mean? What are you
what is the
talking
deal here?
about?
What was the inspiration for this? Why did you
Roll out of
choose to
bed?
don this
We were
material?
held at gunpoint.
We were held at gunpoint.
That's not true.
I had the gun.
No.
No. It's all lies.
No, we just before we came, we decided to throw on some silly hats and some
You know,
glasses.
we like to get a little silly.
yeah.
I was thinking
we're
for
silly
this,
people.
For this look, my sort of inspiration was like street hookah vendor. Somebody's gonna sell you something suspicious off the street.
I just got out
In
of
a tent.
potions class.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Andy's
wait,
story
long,
is
long
that-
brim.
Yeah, we got to get a feature
The
of the
story
brim.
is that he was
It's
in
not as what?
Can you show us the brim?
Oh,
on
wait,
camera.
like
See
full.
the brim.
Okay.
Yeah, full brim.
He was in chemistry and he made a potion that makes
Made
things
my
longer.
hat
Yeah,
big.
he got a drop on the hat and the brim got extended.
Yeah, I don't know if like for all those at home, you might have noticed I've been hitting my hat against the microphone when I look down.
You gotta be careful.
It's because it's too long.
What?
You're gonna get us banned from this show.
We already are.
We're basically banned.
We are a
from
band.
Campus.
We're banned.
Not even allowed on campus anymore.
For real.
Well,
What about you, Jack? What's your story with your outfit choice today?
You know, sometimes I just wish I was fishing, and I really think this hat embodies fishing.
What does it even say?
VIP.
It's
VIP fishing day.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm
It's
about.
Like, it's like talking. Chautauqua Erie County Fish advisory boards.
Yeah.
So
Fish
yeah,
advisory
Oh.
boards.
Plural.
Yeah.
Shout
To
Fish,
to those who advise our fish,
Thank
we
you.
salute you.
they're taken care of.
Well,
Thank
I
you,
guess,
Jack.
let's rein it back in. Speaking
Yeah,
of
yeah.
fish, there's also fish at the creek,
True.
and you
course.
guys live at the Creek House.
True.
Where you also played a show. You hosted a show there. What was that experience like?
Crazy mode.
That was crazy mode.
Pretty awesome.
Everyone has to go. I don't know if you guys know this or noticed this, but when you go in through the basement, you have to go through my bedroom.
It's a little weird, yeah.
Or you could go
didn't
through
even
my
notice that
side,
that
but
night.
we kept my side closed off.
You
Like
didn't
when you came in
notice-
to interview us, that we had that whole side closed off.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we
Okay.
just
Yeah.
kind of.
Did you really not notice the full bed and dresser and
Yeah,
closet?
entire
I guess I
my
just
room.
Guess not a lot of people did.
Not
Yeah.
really thinking about it.
That's my room, y'all. It was crazy.
Now they're gonna know though. You should have. Actually, it's not.
Sorry,
not
it's
Gordon's
not my
room.
room.
No.
It's actually our landlord's
Hey,
room.
can we cut that?
No, sorry. It's uncuttable. I noticed the room.
Yeah,
I was like, hey, what the heck?
yeah, man. I didn't clean it up either. It was specifically I made a mess.
I don't
too.
remember that part. I don't remember thinking this room is dirty.
Well, thank
So-
you.
Probably all the
Appreciate
lights
you.
were off.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I didn't know we could fit that many people in our house,
yeah.
in our basement. We were like super conservative with like our capacity estimate.
Yeah.
Like we were like turning people away even, and there were people on like Yik Yak or whatever. They're like, what? There's nobody upstairs. How come the Creek House is at capacity? But
We don't want the floor to collapse.
basement.
Yeah.
full.
Safety was a big concern. I would say we were.
We
No
were
fire.
quite
cautious of,
concerned
like,
with safety.
The-
things
It's
just
a good
going
thing
well.
to be concerned
The
about for a
electrical
house
state.
venue.
The electrical state of our house is not very
okay.
good, so we do need to be careful.
Okay.
I remember walking to the show and I was like crossing my fingers. I was like, please be at like 79. And I swear to God, I think like me and my two friends were like the last three people. I'm sure they let like one or two other like homies in, but
Yeah.
And there was no place to like chill either.
Yeah,
I felt
no.
like
There was no like
even
space.
in that weird area you were in, Jordan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like there was
the
just
side
like
spot.
Yeah.
On the side.
I was in there for like the second half of the last set or something.
Yeah.
And that's when you shouted me out, and I was like, what?
I did.
I was like, and then people the next day were asking me, like, do you, like, know that song? Do you have, like, a relationship with that song? I was like, no.
Wait, which one was that for?
No, okay, so here's the story behind that. It's not long. Liam
Yeah.
literally comes up to me beforehand, I think like right after Limp Bizkit or something.
Yeah.
And he's just like, hey, shout out Jordan Budd to this song. And it was Kryptonite. And I just went with it
You had to.
because you're my hero.
It's awesome. I was honored. I truly
Shout out
was.
Liam.
Liam of Auto Ignition fame.
Shout out.
Liam Ebers
Yes.
He's playing right now. He's on tour currently playing
with
Syracuse.
Super American.
With
Yeah,
Super
it's pretty
American.
How
awesome.
big is your brain?
That's the song.
Shouts out. I love
Playing
that
it
song.
right now as we speak.
Circling back to Trapped Inside a Prism. I know you guys are familiar with this, but I'm just going to read the Bandcamp description to draw the listeners' attention to
Oh,
it
this
before
is
Go
good
on.
stuff.
I ask you guys about it. It reads, our narrator is trapped in a prism and they can't figure out why. They think back to a time when they were free from the prism, driving down the closed-down highways and looking out the window to see an alien spaceship driving beside them. They then think back to meeting a she/her alien on the street and trying to put the moves on her, only to find out she's taken. Her alien man confronts our narrator, shooting them with a UFD, unidentified device that traps them inside of a prism.
I forgot about the UFD. That's really good. Unidentified device.
Yeah.
There's
What?
no words to the question. I'll just let you
yeah.
take it away.
What's the story there?
I didn't even know that existed.
That's,
Oh, okay.
I wrote that right when we put it out. We needed some sort of description, so I thought I would just explain what's going on.
More or less speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Are the lyrics like mostly
Yeah.
centering on that too?
Yeah, if you listen to the lyrics, you can see like where it
came from.
yeah.
Do you have the
Yeah.
lyrics? Oh,
Not
you
on
don't?
this
Don't have the
Oh,
lyrics.
come
Don't have the
on.
lyrics.
Didn't like that.
I'm sorry, I'm just being a tool.
I missed the unidentified device. Is that in the lyrics?
Yeah, it's like the device he pointed at me.
I
I
could
could
not
not recall,
recall.
but he pulled it
Oh,
and he
okay.
shot me in my third eyeball. I don't know why I took it the octave down. I can't do that.
Might have lost for words.
So, your debut AP, Sniff the Apothecary, came out relatively recently. What was the process of recording that, and how long did it take to put everything together? You talked a little bit about those songs that you had recorded or kind of drafted, but once you kind of got the whole group together, what was that process like?
Lots of studio time.
Yeah.
It's beneficial that we're SRT majors because we can
Yeah.
just go right in there.
Don't have to pay thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to students, it's free if you want to record something. Just FYI.
It's true.
No, we'll charge you though.
We'll charge.
Billions.
But yeah, we just took a lot of sessions. We got the drums and like all the basic tracks done. But
Freak
then-
house sessions too. I
Yeah,
feel like
but then it was summer,
Yeah, we had
and
to
then
do
we
some-
had to do a lot of it at home, like all the guitars, most of the guitars, most of the vocals, pretty much, bass, all at home.
Yeah.
DIY. Very much.
Yeah.
And how does it feel to have those songs out? Like some of those are ones you've been playing for a while. People
Yeah.
already know them from going to the shows. What was the reaction like to have them out now?
my parents like them, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
good
That's a
to
good
have
thing.
something you can show your mommy and your daddy and be like,
Yep. Yep.
I am actually doing stuff at college, I promise.
Yeah, but no, I think all our parents actually mess with the EP
Yeah.
very hard.
Yeah.
And they would say if they didn't like it too. That's the thing. Like,
Exactly,
I can
yeah.
usually judge if my parents like it. It's like, okay, all right.
What's like the general consensus on the favorite song of the parents for everybody? Like what's your dad's favorite?
I know your mom really likes Goblet of Pea.
My mom's shirt is Goblet, yeah.
Okay.
I feel like, yeah, my brothers like Goblet a lot. Sir Pimpin' too.
I think my family likes
Percent is
Magician.
Yeah.
All of them, honestly. I feel like
I don't
all
know about
three.
my dad, but he's probably running that on Spotify in the background on his computer right now as we speak.
Shout out
Stream
Chris.
farming.
I think our
Juicing the
favorite.
numbers.
I
Juicing
think
the
our
numbers.
favorite though is probably Sir Pimpin', unless I'm wrong.
That's my favorite
I would
too.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did an Instagram poll. I think that was the consensus too.
Oh, I forgot to check even. on that.
I think whenever I checked, I don't know, but I don't care.
So
Whatever, it's just
pimpin'.
people to click on Instagram engagement, social
Exactly.
media.
Yeah, and that song has like a lot of. All of the songs have very out there themes in terms of like fantasy driven elements. That one's about slaying gremlins and all sorts of stuff.
Wenches on my gland.
It's true.
Is that at the beginning of the song or?
That's in
It's
there.
like that's one of
Wenches
the
on
lyrics,
my
yeah.
gland, services in high demand.
Some other stuff we
Wow.
can't say.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a good one. I do like it because it's sort of a good closer because it just sort of pulls out all the stops. It's just like everything in the toolbox,
Yeah.
tool shed, everything, every receptacle has been opened and emptied into the song.
Right. Yeah, I feel that way too. Just like the verses are so hard hitting, but then the chorus is so bright. It's a really nice combination of everything at once, and
It's a very dynamic song, I think.
Yep.
It kind
Yeah.
of covers a lot of ground.
definitely, yeah. Well, just on that same topic of talking about the fantasy stuff, I wanted to read this quote to you guys. And this is from Blaze. I really don't know how to say Blaze's last name, but
Persibula? Persibula?
yeah, Persbilla. I don't know of Gulf of Mexico Productions, also of
Shout out.
BP and the oil
Love
spills.
you, Bay.
But Blaze said, on Twitter, I essentially compared them to Jethro Tull if they knew what metalcore was, with the slightly goofy medieval-themed lyrics and just the song construction in general, and I stick by that. Do you guys find that to be an accurate description?
That's pretty real.
Are you messing with it?
More or less,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't listen to Jethro Tull enough, but I know they're pretty
I
sweet.
can
and
get
they
down
play
with a little
flutes.
Jethro.
They do.
They got
They
flutes, which
do.
is cool. So
They got the
Yeah.
flutes.
I think, yeah, it's sort of a lot of what we have put out now and what we play these days is sort of like progressive rock leaning, and that I don't want to say like super technical, but it's just sort of we go a little crazy, a little out there with like the song structure and all that stuff.
Time signatures.
But like, yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm a metalhead. I can't deny it. I can't. That's the one thing I can't turn off is I can't turn off the metalhead part in my brain. So like, there's always a little bit of something in there.
Yeah.
Microchip.
But I mean, hopefully, we're trying to do like everything though. It's the thing.
Jazz.
You won't
Smooth
just
jazz.
be hearing metalcore Jethro Tull out of
We
us.
talked
You'll hear a
about
lot more.
country.
yeah, country coming up next.
Country.
Yeah.
New country EP
On the
dropping.
horizon.
Disco.
Disco country jazz.
Yeah.
It's true.
What's like a couple bands you guys are all really into?
Oh.
All of us.
Some shared influence.
I know Joe and I have a very similar
We kind of get into the like
the
metalcore.
metalcore stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I'm less metal. I'm not as into the metal.
We
as
both like
other
Smashing
people.
Pumpkins.
Yeah, I'm a big Smashing Pumpkins. and-
I mean, if you look at my guitar, the pickups I have in it, where the Smashing Pumpkins used those. I got the Smashing Pumpkins pedal.
I feel like we all consensus on. I don't know if that was a sentence. I think we all agree on like dad rock.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Like,
you guys like the
Nickelback.
old stuff.
Yeah, just like stuff
Incubus.
nobody wants to listen to, but we're gonna play it.
Yeah.
Is there a
But they
difference?
actually want to listen to it.
Is there a difference between dad rock and yacht rock?
Oh,
I'd say
definitely.
probably.
Yeah.
I think.
I have to mention Ween, by the way. Ween.
Yeah,
I think
Ween.
Ween.
Yeah.
Ween.
Yeah. I
You guys
think in
covered
terms of
transdermal
Yeah.
celebrations.
Yes.
I think in terms of like philosophy, we're sort of Ween
Coded.
adjacent. Yeah, we're like.
Peppers
'cause
too.
They just do whatever. They just do like
I want to do some
anything.
experimental
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
but also poppy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, I think we're about ready to transition into the performance. Take it away, guys.
I'm trapped inside a prism and I don't know why. Done all that I can, or at least I tried. But I'm trapped inside a prism and I don't know why. I'm trapped inside a prism and I don't know why. Cruising steady on my motor going 65. Now they shut down all the highways but they can't explain why we saw a giant spaceship in the carpool lane. Don't ask why, it don't make sense. Try to stay awake, try to stay active. You find out he's in your head. That's what you get for trying to be proactive. So now I'm trapped inside a prism and I don't know why. Tried to seduce an alien but I met her guy. The device he pointed at me I could not recall. He pulled it and he shot me in my third eyeball. Don't ask why, it don't make sense. Try to stay awake, try to stay active. You find out he's in your head. That's what you get for trying to be proactive. I'm trapped inside a prism and I don't know why. Done all that I can, or at least I tried. But now I'm trapped inside a prism and I don't know why. I'm still good.
Bruh.
Ah. The knight takes off his helmet, sword returns to sheath. Takes a step through the door of the king of his defeat. But the king, he wears no crown, no throne or jewels allowed. Come now, is there any treasure here that is left for me? You can drink my goblet of pain. What are the chances there's no more than this? You can drink my goblet of pain. Says just before you there was someone else. He stormed this place and he took everything off the shelves. But he did leave one thing, one honor to this old king. He left for me this garden of bliss for to share. And you can drink my goblet of peace. What are the chances there's no more than this? You can drink my goblet of pee-pee. And so the night he waits for the king to go to sleep. If he received no riches, his head he takes to keep. But the king, he has no bed, no dreams to fill his head. Who hangs before him but the king that he used to be? yeah, that you can drink my goblet of urine.
Goblet of what?
Goblet of huh?
Can't say it. I wish I knew what was in this goblet.
What is in there? It's mysterious. Woo! Yeah. Yeah. This one is like a local lowdown exclusive. We played it at the show too.
Literally.
Yup. Local lowdown Main Street show that y'all should have came to. Sorry.
Yeah, Jordan.
At least you get to hear it here though, I guess. This song is called Can We Do It in a Cave Just Like Humans Used to Do? Ready? Could I wade in your water? Could you swing on my tree? Could we break all the rocks built between you and me? Could we walk through the parking lot not wearing any shoes? Could we do it in a cave just like humans used to do? Would you call me Adam? Baby, you can be Steve, or call it whatever way you want. I won't tell you what to believe. Take a bite of the apple, teach a snake how to speak. We're surrounded by nature, there's no telling what could be. Hear the bush and branch rustle, hear the birds and bugs too. When we do it in a cave, just like humans used to do. Can we take one last breath before we completely change our minds? Hold it in and release it before taking that long dive. Could we take some precautions, bring a flashlight or two? Do you want me to wear a condom? It could be glow in the dark blue. Hear the dripping stalactite, feel the walls closing too. When we do it in a cave, just like humans used to do. Thank you. Oh yeah. Am I still? Okay. This one's another crowd favorite, I think. I hope.
crowd's
Maybe.
most hated.
Yeah, everyone hates this song actually.
Everyone snoozes when this one comes on.
When you hear this song, you know it's about to be a snooze fest.
Survey the scene outside, are they watching me? 13 million eyes blink all at once, and with a flash they disappear. Such an unearthly display leaves me immobilized. Finally I take a breath, but here's something from behind. It's terrifying what you know. I'm on my knees, you're on your throne. Every time I look, I'm terrified. 13 million eyes blink at the same time. When the creatures come, I will come for you too. When the feeling's gone, I am too. Little creatures crawl out of her head, watching horror. Your mouth is agape as her face trickles down to the floor. Stumble toward the window pane, but try as you might, all the creatures have blocked your escape. You won't make it out alive. Time I look, 13 little creatures crawl, I'm terrified out of her head. 13 million eyes blink at the same time. When the creatures come, I will come for you too. When the wind is blowing, I will come for you. When the feeling's gone, I am too.
Tired?
Thank you guys so much for that performance. We really appreciate you coming through. Not coming from too far though.
course.
Just coming from Fredonia. So
Just across the street.
yep. Yeah, but that was pretty epic. It was nice to have like a full acoustic band in here. It's been a while since we did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's another performance you guys have coming up, and it's at the Creek House. And yeah, disclose any information that you'd like to about it.
Moist phobia of a squeak wall.
The second
Number
one.
2. The second one.
It's going to be at our house.
It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be in the basement. It's gonna be sweaty.
Really hot. It's going to be really sweaty.
Okay.
It's going to be October 28th.
Mark it.
I don't know what time yet.
12 through
Call the whole
12.
day off.
Yeah.
Skip
yeah.
all your class. Is
skip
it Saturday?
everything. It's Saturday.
It's a Saturday,
Saturday,
but still
skip
skip
all
your
your
classes on
classes.
Saturday.
Yep.
There is a promise though, and that promise is it's gonna be better than last time.
Even
That's for
better.
sure.
Oh no, like
It's gonna be
It's
lit.
going to be way better.
Significantly worse.
Is
I would
this
say.
like a
No, keep looking at me in the
similar
eyes.
lineup or something slightly different?
Similar.
Similar.
secrets.
Okay, it'll be funny if like the announcement's already out when this comes out. Everyone's
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, guys.
You'll just have to go and find out.
Exactly.
Go to our house.
Come to our house.
Get in our basement.
Come through my room to the basement, and we'll talk it out.
Although consult your doctor before coming if you have a dust allergy
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
or rust, or mold.
Okay.
or
Moisture.
yeah.
Yeah.
For the people that weren't at the last one, what is moist phobia? Like,
It's a bunch of noise in a room that's really moist.
okay.
A rubber
And a
room.
lot of people in a very little room.
What were the bands that played that night?
Oh, that's what you're getting.
Yeah.
It was us and Amphobia, and you know we cleverly attached the two names, made a little portmanteau
What
of
you know
our
about
of
port?
our band names, and we were like, let's get together, let's make a like a Megazord, and let's mix and match and just play some tunes.
And constantly rotate instruments.
Yeah.
Yep.
For like an hour? How long was that set?
Something like that.
Hour
Yeah,
and
it
a
was
half
while.
probably, but like it's all
my
because like
gosh.
Moisture and Amphobia are just like best friends. Like we're just all so
bass.
close.
we
like
share members.
obviously I play drums in both bands.
Yeah.
Joe now plays bass in
Yes.
Amphobia. But yeah, we're all interconnected in some way.
It's true.
So yeah, we just thought like, hey, we have this house available. We both play music. Let's make some.
North Pole Strip Club was the inspiration. I
Yeah.
always loved the shows
yeah.
there, and then once that closed down, there was no like house show venues. So
Yeah.
I was kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
Or we all collectively wanted to continue that vibe of like basement shows,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know, because it's got a certain vibe. Like Main Street has a vibe, and then basement shows have
Yes,
a
for
vibe.
sure.
It's
Yes.
a cool thing.
Definitely.
But also like the bad reputation that like I think we've heard about like the old like
Not us though.
shows at the Creek
Yeah,
House.
we wanted
Like it
to
was a
make
little
sure-
sketchy in the past.
Yeah.
So we just really wanted to like emphasize like safety,
yes.
like inclusion of all people.
Yeah. Make
Like-
sure nobody's like spilling beers on each other. Nobody's, snorting coke in the bathroom or whatever.
None of that.
Like
Nothing.
it's
nothing
not
like
it's
that.
not that vibe. We tried to really stress that it's supposed to be like a safe and inclusive space.
Yeah, and Chloe made that Zine, the
Yep.
feminist
Yeah.
rock, and she wrote about how the Creek House was very important to you guys, and I commend you guys for making that something that you're focused on. Yeah, I guess does it feel different like playing there? I guess there haven't been very many, but just kind of like having that control, I guess, and knowing that that's your like values.
It does for sure. Especially it being our house. It's like it just feels.
It was so comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
It was a little weird because there were so many people there.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
obviously, it was a little like nerve wracking, kind of just like
But, like-
hoping nothing happens. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we had multiple people throughout the house, different rooms. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we had security upstairs. Christian Tabor, shout out Christian Tabor.
Shout out Christian.
But like we were all making mistakes like throughout all of that, like bad, but like we just did not care.
just felt good.
It just felt so good.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
having like shout out Olive, our like manager,
Manager. Roommate, housemate.
housemate.
fellow.
She is amazing, and really sold that trans rights and all inclusiveness. Like really drove that home, and I think that's what. Like I saw a Yik Yak on it and was like, oh, I was really nervous to go to Moist Phobia because I heard bad things about the Creek House, and everyone was just like, no, like you're fine. Like
Yeah.
Yep.
talking about like how a girl was dancing and like maybe a little too revealing clothes and like nobody cared, nobody paid a mind. Like
Yeah, I think
nobody cares
I
there.
think the fact that we were upfront about like our expectations and our values, I think I could sort of tell that it made the people more comfortable. Like especially, I feel like I see like a lot of women come to shows, and they can be like a little on edge because you never know what
sure,
could go
right.
down. But I think. I'm not the best at like reading people's like emotions just based off like their body language or whatever, but it seemed like a lot of people who might not have felt as safe felt at least somewhat safe in there, and I think that is important.
Yeah, it's awesome to hear that you got that feedback too, both from Chloe's zine and from people on Yik Yak, and I'm sure people have told you that in person too.
Yep.
So yeah, it's great that that's very upfront, and yeah, I hope that you guys continue to do that, and I'm sure you will.
For sure.
Absolutely.
I think it should become just an expectation
For every show, yeah.
It's
Every
so
show
much
should
fun.
be like that.
It's not talked about enough,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, I think if you have a platform, if you have a place, any kind of platform, you gotta use it for something.
For good.
Let people do what they want to do.
Except for the jerk faces. Don't let the jerk faces be jerk faces.
Andy.
Yeah, Andy's kicked out of the band officially starting 2024. So
Yeah.
It's real.
Contract's up.
I think what you guys are doing is great, and that's really nice to hear. I didn't actually know about like that driving home those values, but that's like inspirational.
That was like at the beginning of the whole thing. So like people, you might have missed that. But,
Yeah,
like,
no, I got there late.
Yeah.
it's on
I-
YouTube.
Word. I had a fun little question. Speaking of internet, speaking of YouTube,
Oh gosh,
this is gonna be crazy.
this is gonna be
because
crazy.
there's 4 of you. Try and use telepathy and come up with one answer.
Oh, I got it.
Don't let Andy answer.
JK. So, out of everything on the internet ever, all the videos, what is your favorite thing from the internet? What comes to mind? What silly little moisture thing? Relentless
I
thing.
mean, I think most recently the Gary Busey interview.
Maybe. I feel like there's better representation.
The rug cleaning videos by Eastern European men sped up to 2 times speed.
Yeah, there was a guy like Lubuski something.
It's like I don't even know. I don't know. He's like Czech or something, and he does a little break dance at the end of every video.
Yep.
That's really good. It's even better in 2 times speed. But we
That's gonna be
probably
awesome.
collectively sank like more than 20 hours into those videos.
Like so much time.
On 2 times speed.
Yeah.
Well, the people will see it, just so you know.
They will.
sure.
They will.
Well, on that note, that concludes another episode of The Local Lowdown. Thank you so much, Relentless Moisture, for coming in and playing an awesome set for us.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Local Lowdown on 88.9 WCVF The Voice and 89.5 WDVL The Inferno. We'll be back next week with some more sweaty local music.
Same time, same place.
When the creatures come, I will conquer you too. When the feeling's gone,